Hey, yes, we're on. Hello, everyone. Today's video, we're going to talk about a childhood memory of mine, and that memory is, well, you probably can guess, Toys R Us. A lot of people on YouTube are posting videos about Toys R Us and their memories, and they're even going inside the store and kind of doing a farewell tour. In this video, I'm just going to talk to y'all, well, like pretty much all my other videos, this is more of just me talking for the next few minutes about my childhood memories of Toys R Us. Now, I was born in 1986, and actually my 32nd birthday is just 2 days away, believe it or not. I grew up on the Eastern Shore of Maryland. There were two stores from my childhood that really stood out to me. One was in Salisbury, Maryland, and the other one was in Dover, Delaware. So growing up, my mom was a nurse at the hospital in Salisbury. My dad was a firefighter paramedic down in Ocean City, and they lived in Berlin, which is just between Salisbury and Ocean City. Well, they would make a lot of trips to Toys R Us when I was a baby. They always bought, that was like their favorite place to buy diapers for some reason, and also nail clippers. Now, keep in mind, this is 1986, and Walmart was just a regional store in the Deep South. It did not exist in Maryland until right around 1991, 1992. Okay, so this is pre-Walmart we're talking about. Let me see, I'm looking at my notes here that I jotted down. That Toys R Us was in a shopping center called the Twiley Center, or you can call it the Twilly Center, whichever, potato. I tend to like to call it the Twiley Center because going back probably about 15 years ago, the Orioles had a pitching coach named Mark Wiley. So yeah, you pronounce the long L in that word. That's where I get that from. But again, you know, if somebody here's lived right in Salisbury, Maryland, and has different pronunciation, please let me know. I can tell you, at that shopping center where the Toys R Us was located, there is a wonderful pizza place called, which is still there today. You can go there today and get pizza. It's called Lombardi's. It is. I don't know if it's necessarily my favorite pizza, but it's definitely in the top 5, top 10 of pizza places. It is it's kind of a New York style / brick oven pizza, but it is so good, and it's not overly doughy. You know, some of especially the national pizza chains, they're very doughy, or some of them you go to is very cheesy. But again, I can do a whole nother video on pizza. We're here talking about Toys R Us, right? So that particular store at the Twiley Center in Salisbury, it was there until about right around, about the year 2000. I couldn't find an exact date. I was looking on the internet, couldn't find it. But another thing that I would say about that is, right behind the Twiley Center was a shopping mall called the Salisbury Mall. And yeah, I'm old enough, believe it or not, to remember actually going to that mall. This was back early 90s. I believe it was, the Center at Salisbury Mall. That opened 1990, which was the brand spanking new mall at that time. The Salisbury Mall had been around since about the 60s, and it's sort of, you know, after the Center at Salisbury opened, the mall was kind of in its dying days. So this was back 1990, 91, 92-ish. I was like 5 or 6 years old, and I got to see the mall, that particular mall, for the last time, which is right behind the Twiley Center. So yeah, now you fast forward to now, here in 2018, the Center of Salisbury Mall is 28 years old, and the Toys R Us is now on a road called Naylor Mill Road in Salisbury. It's been there probably since about the year 2000. It's right across the street from one of my favorite restaurants, Golden Corral. As you can tell, look at my figure. I like to eat a lot, but I digress. I'm not too crazy about the location. I thought the Twiley Center was on a pretty busy road. This Toys R Us is more on a kind of a, the business is probably not as good as it could be. compare with the one in Dover, because the one in Dover is right on Route 13, the main drag through Dover. This one's on more of a secondary street in Salisbury. But, so that's what I got to say about the one in Salisbury. The one I remember a lot more from my childhood was the one in Dover. And I would say, yeah, we went to that one obviously a lot more because Delaware has no sales tax, as Maryland does. First trips to that particular Toys R Us I remember back probably about the mid-90s, because my mom used to like to shop at a store called not Toys R Us, TJ Maxx, and she'd be in that store, gosh, like 2 hours or something. It's oof. Yeah. But the TJ Maxx moved from a shopping center in another part of Dover up DuPont Highway there to where Toys R Us is today. It's on the first list of closures, unfortunately, so it's probably getting ready to shut the doors as we speak. But, yeah. So, again, I just remember playing the Nintendo 64 there at the Toys R Us and always doing that. And also remember getting the big, what do you call it, the big Toys R Us book in the Sunday paper, usually a couple times a year. And then the Baltimore Sun would be a huge 50, 100-page book of toys, and I just go through there like, you know, like a madman, checking everything that I wanted off for Christmas. And I get a Christmas list, gosh, you know, 3 miles long or something. But, let's see, what else did I want to say about this video? Yeah. A couple other grocery stores, toy stores around that time. KB Toys. Can you remember KB Toys, right? It was always in a mall. I remember the store being so stinking small. I mean, I'm sort of a undiagnosed claustrophobic. I don't like small spaces, but wow, this store was like, you know, shelves were like 15 feet high, yay to the ceiling, and the store was like really small, like a gas station convenience store would probably be, with the exception of Wawa or Sheetz or Speedway. But, you know, mom and pop gas station convenience store, yeah, that would be bigger than a KB Toys. And I even hear now KB is trying to plan a comeback. I'm like, seriously? What's the point? I mean, you know, Toys R Us, the problem with them was their prices were always too high. And they got away with it they lasted a really long time, considering their high prices from the 40s all the way to, what, it's been about 70 years now, right? But yeah, they were able to get away with it even in the 80s and 90s because Walmart was just busting on the seam in the 90s. Same thing with Target. But yeah, those two stores, and of course Amazon now, the internet is really taken, you know, is even threatening Walmart and Target now. But, so what else? Oh yeah, Zany Brainy was a store I actually liked a little bit better than Toys R Us. Everything was laid out a lot cleaner. It was basically on educational things, board games, computer games. But the best one was the one Zany Brainy went bankrupt probably like a good 10 years ago now. But there was another. The one I remember most was in the Annapolis Harbor Center, which is a really, really good shopping center. Almost as good as Annapolis Mall. If you're ever in Annapolis, Maryland, got to go to the Annapolis Harbor Center. It's got 50, gosh, at least 50 stores. It's an outdoor center, so you get exercise, get a little sun if it's a nice day. But yeah, good. Let's see, what else was I going to say? Oh yeah, watching Nickelodeon in the mid and late 90s. Of course, you remember the Super Toy Fun Run they had, and you had like what 5 minutes to get as many toys as you can. I tell you, if I ever did that fun run, I'd just go to the video game department and just call it a day, right? Get all the video games I could, and I'd probably get a lot because I'd just take the cart from the front of the store to the video game department, right? Another one was the Toys R Us Jeffrey Dollars. If you watch Double Dare 2000 and Figure It Out, maybe a couple other game shows around that time period, they always gave away the Toys R Us Jeffrey Dollars, which of course is another way to say, gift card, gift certificate, that sort of thing. And let's see. Remember moving to Vero Beach, Florida in 2005, and for the first time in my life, I would actually have a Toys R Us like 10 minutes from my house. But it turns out that I moved to Florida in June of 2005, and like 2 months later, Toys R Us was gone. I mean, hit the road, Jack. They were gone. Probably my final memory of Toys R Us was I took a little trip up to, from 2005 to 2007, I did not have a car. So one of my first little trips that I took, because I was doing college stuff and didn't really feel the need for a car, but when I did get a car in 2007, one of the first trips I took was up to Melbourne. It's about 45 minutes from Vero Beach. And went to the Toys R Us up there, got a couple board games. I think got Monopoly and like ESPN, the DVD game or something called Seen It, I think. So got a couple of those games, and because I was actually getting ready to take a road trip up to Maryland to see a good friend of mine from high school at that time. So I took those games with me, and then I moved to North Carolina. Didn't really find anybody to play the games with me, so I just gave them away to Goodwill. But yeah, my last memory of Toys R Us was 2007. When I was delivering pizza in Orlando. This is back 2014 to 2016. I may have gone in Toys R Us a couple times because they had delivery and everything, but I do remember their stores really going through a period of consolidation before the bankruptcy went through, and they would take these big, huge 50, 100,000 square foot toy stores, and they would put Babies R Us in with them, sort of to consolidate. And another thing that Toys R Us had was Kids R Us, and it went defunct, I believe, in 95, I think, something like that, mid-90s. But yeah, that was a clothing store, and oh my gosh, being a typical heterosexual male, I'm not a big fan of shop for clothes, and as a kid, I didn't like it either. But Mom, it's one of those things, when you're a mother of a son or a daughter, you want to take care of them, get them clothes. So yeah, I did actually go into a Kids R Us store with my mom. This was like when I was 8 or 9, and I think there was only one within like a 200-mile radius of our house, and it was like right around the Wilmington, Delaware, Christiana, Delaware area. So yeah, I think that's about all that I have to say about Toys R Us. They've recently started the whole liquidation, going out of business sale. So if you want to go visit Toys R Us, I would recommend you do it very, very soon, like today or tomorrow or within the next week or so. Also, if you want to get video footage inside Toys R Us, I would recommend you ask permission, because you do not want to go to a Toys R Us, have a fun afternoon, go to Toys R Us, shoot a bunch of video, then next thing you know, you're in a courtroom facing all kinds of legal problems, okay? If you ask them and they say no, well, you should try to, and you still want to do it, this can be a First Amendment debate. I believe in the First Amendment. Go get a pair of camera glasses, but go find something discreet and just take some footage, but ask first, okay? Okay? Anyway, I am the Conservative Pelican, and I thank you for watching this video.